Welcome to the first ever officially A&T podcast. I'm your host, Armani. This is my partner, Tyler, and we're two Carolina country boys coming here to teach you, or maybe you teach us, about college football. We do sports year-round, but for right now in this segment, we're going to be talking about college football.
Let's get into it. It's the hottest take out right now. This college football playoff bracket. What a doozy, dude. It's crazy.
Very much so. Very much so. But this is the A&T podcast. So in case you're living under a rock, with the college football playoffs have officially started, and we finally know what teams are going to face which teams. There's a couple teams in there that we expected to be in there, and there's a couple teams in there that we didn't expect to be in there. What do you got for us, Tyler?
I like it, man. I like the first 10 teams that were selected. There's two teams, I'm sure you know what teams I'm talking about, that kind of don't feel like should be in it.
Right.
You know, the committee, they're supposed to pick the 12 best teams in the country, and I personally feel that number 11, number 12 aren't the two best out of the 12.
And for the people that don't know who are 11 and 12 are, go ahead and give them to the audience.
That would be the James Madison University and the Tulane. And I just don't see how they declared them as the top 12 best teams in the country. I just don't. Yes, they got a 11-2 record.
In what conference?
The Tulane, they were in the American Conference. And then we have the 12-1 James Madison out of the Sun Belt.
The Citadel. Shout out the Citadel there.
So, I you know, it's a hot take because I personally feel like Notre Dame and Vanderbilt really got screwed out of this, especially Notre Dame. Notre Dame's only lost 2 games this year. 2 of them are the 2 losses came out of the 2 teams that are actually in the playoffs. But the 2 games they've lost by a combined of 4 points.
Now, do you have any idea on how the committee judges on who gets in and who doesn't get in?
I don't. I personally feel like 2 of the committee members, one of them went to Tulane and one of them went to James Madison. That's how I feel. So,
Fair enough.
To kick Notre Dame out, I mean, they lost to Miami by 3. First game of the season in Miami. And then the next week, they played Texas A&M and only lost by 1 point. I just feel that's hard just to kick them out the playoffs. I mean, I don't understand the logic to it.
I don't know. I mean, I guess the side that I can take with Vandy is because Vandy beat Bama. I don't know if it was in Bama or if it was in Bama. That was Vandy.
Vandy lost to Bama at Bama by 16 this year.
Vandy lost to Bama by 16 this year.
Yep.
And then Bama proceeds to lose by 21 to Georgia.
And they also have lost 3 games this year.
So why do you say Vandy then?
They're I think they're one of the hottest teams out. And coming into the season, I was not a fan of Vandy. Really wasn't a fan of Diego Pavia. He kind of grew on me. I just think they're one of the hottest teams in the country right now. And think about it, 2 or 3 weeks ago, they went to Texas and only lost by 3. That's their second loss of the season. Every other team they played this year, they beat them pretty good. So I feel bad for Vanderbilt. I feel bad for Diego Pavia because I think he had something going for him this year. And in my opinion, this might be the only time we ever have Vanderbilt in conversation because it's Vanderbilt. You know, I don't think they're going
with the NIL though, you never know. They might be able to find another Diego or something like that. The money's over there, right?
I don't know.
Bunch
It
of
is Nashville. It is
right?
Nashville, Tennessee.
So let's break down the list of the seeds for the college football playoffs.
Yeah, I like it. You know, we had that big matchup with Indiana and Ohio State on Saturday, and that was a really good game. The least amount of points Indiana has actually scored this whole season was 13, and they ended up beating number 1 Ohio State.
Google.
Yeah. Also cool too is their head coach. It's the second year he's coached there, and
getting things
they
rolling.
made it to the playoffs last year, and this year it's the first time in school history they became ranked number 1. So, I mean, I like I said, I like the first 10. I think the first 10 definitely deserve to be in there. It's just the last 2, man.
So what do you take away from the Alabama-Georgia game? The high-flying offenses, the stopping defense. Now, at the end of the day, are we anything surprised by Georgia?
No,
Okay.
not at all. You know, Georgia's still that powerhouse. Georgia, I think, will continue to be that powerhouse. So for them to be seeded number 3 and get that first bye, I totally agree with that. I think they deserved it. For Alabama to still be in it, they lost 3 games, but it's Alabama. What's the playoff without Alabama?
Exactly. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So we are back, guys, and for now we're going to talk about the second segment, which is going to be each team in said college football playoff brackets. Okay, so we got the Alabama Crimson Tide versus the Oklahoma Sooners. The Tide is ranked number 9 right now in the polls, and the Sooners are ranked number 8 in the polls. Both teams in the SEC, by the way, just for the viewers that don't know. It's going to be Friday, December 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, what's very interesting about this is the odds and the betting factors, and we're going to have a whole different segment about that in the future that you guys can know about. But Alabama is a minus 2.5 point favorite, which means that Alabama has to win by more than 2.5 points to get their bet. What do you think about that?
I think this is going to be a great game. This is one I'm real excited about. These 2 teams played each other back in November, and Oklahoma actually beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. So not this Friday, but the next Friday, the 19th, Alabama goes to Oklahoma to try to beat them to move on in the playoffs. But I'm real excited about this game. I'm pumped up that it's the primetime Friday night game. The last time these 2 teams played, Alabama statistically won on paper. Every category, Alabama was better in numbers, but what hurt them was the 3 turnovers to Oklahoma's 0.
And that Brent Venables defense, everybody's known for it.
Dude, talk about a flip. Man was on the hottest seat in the country last year. I mean, they wanted him out of there.
And it's crazy because we've seen, or at least you've seen, the Alabama defense live in action, and you've seen the Oklahoma defense, or we both seen the Oklahoma defense live in action against the Gamecocks. And are you expecting anything crazy out of the Alabama or Oklahoma defense this game per usual, or do you think it's just going to be a stalemate all the way through?
I think what's going to happen, they get a 2-week break, so they get time to recover and heal up. But I think Crimson Tide's going to go in there, and Oklahoma's going to wake up and beat them boys. I think they're going to flip the spread. I think closer to the game, that spread's going to go drop down less than 3. And I think Oklahoma has a chance to upset Alabama and take the win.
Are we here to hear first?
That's right. Mark your bets. Write it down. Put 100 on Oklahoma.
Oh, no refund. No refund. We did not prospects. So why don't you give the viewers some stats about this Oklahoma offense or this Alabama offense, or why is both?
Well, for starters, Oklahoma's quarterback going into the season, he was one of the top prospects, could have to win the Heisman. And I think last week when Alabama played, it kind of was an eye opener to show what kind of defense you need to run to beat them. Oklahoma, they're averaging 34 points a game and only allowing 13, so their defense is pretty good. In Alabama, they're averaging 36 points a game and only allowing 21. So you look at the numbers, this is going to be probably one of the best games out of the group. Oklahoma, they're averaging 425 yards on offense, and Alabama's 454. But what I've noticed in these past couple games is, where's Ryan Williams?
Yeah. MIA milk carton. Ryan Williams have not been seen. Someone said, what's it? Pobo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pobo.
Do you think it has anything to do with the NCAA cover?
NCAA cover? I don't even know what that is.
The football game?
Oh my God, the curse. I don't know. Like I said, I just came back from the Iron Bowl, and everybody was asking the same question there. What's wrong with Ryan Williams? What's wrong with Ryan Williams? But then number 1 from Alabama, the Bond guy, he was just taking over, so people just stopped caring when it came to a certain point. But like you was talking about Heisman, how John, what was his name? Mateer for Oklahoma was a Heisman. Ty Simpson was supposed to be a Heisman favorite.
That's right.
Supposed to be a number 1 recruit. Supposed to be the greatest NFL recruitment class of quarterbacks. You had Garrett Nussmeier. You had Dante Moore, who we're going to be talking about.
Lenore Sellers.
We're going to be John Mateer, Clay. And now we're just talking about Mendoza or whatever. But I digress. Back into the segment. So, Oklahoma Tide, again, I said Oklahoma Tide. Oklahoma Sooners Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama's minus 2.5 spread. And then the over-under total points is 40.5, which I think is a little low. But at the same time, they're both SEC defenses.
Two great defenses, too, man. I think it's going to be a clash. I don't think it's going to be a blowout game. I think it's going to come down to the last drive.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm super excited about this game. And I'll tell you what game I'm not excited about.
What's that?
It's game number 2. James Madison at Oregon. I mean, like I said, I just think they have an alumni in the committee that went to JMU.
Somebody spent the bag.
Somebody, man.
Somebody spent the bag. That's way above both of our pay grades to understand why. But James Madison comes in at number 12 in the country, while the Oregon Ducks come in at number 5 in the country. The Oregon Ducks are a 21.5 point favorite. And I feel like it should be 30. But at the same time, if we have any JMU supporters here, we are just stating the facts and we are just being obviously in blame. Because I'm not going to lie to you, Tyler's not going to lie to you, but you guys are going to get smoked. There's no ifs and buts about it. But at the end of the day, that's my opinion. What do you think, Tyler?
It just comes down to the 12 best teams in the country. I'm pretty sure last week, before the committee made their selection, JMU just got in at 25 in the country. And it just goes back to why are they in and why is Notre Dame not in?
Right.
I mean, yeah, they've only lost one game. Who do they play? So, but
Yeah.
this is the first meeting ever between the two schools playing each other.
Okay.
Here, I mean, JMU kind of has a 50-50 offense. They average about 200 yards passing, 200 yards rushing. I don't think they've played a big Power 4, Power 5 defense before. What the committee should do, or what the whole NCAA should do, is make a playoff bracket for the big dogs and a playoff bracket for the G5s, because
Wow, that's smart.
it would make sense. I mean,
Yeah.
they would accumulate a lot of money. A lot of people will watch this. A lot of people watch that. There's football, more
It's
football
all
to watch.
underneath the NCAA,
You
exactly.
know, there's more money to make. I think by putting JMU in the playoff, it's just going to embarrass them. I mean, I think Oregon is going to come out firing on all cylinders in the first 2 quarters, and they're going to let all the redshirt freshmen and all the freshmen play that second half. I mean,
Get their feelings out.
yeah.
Well, let's also say this before we continue to bash on JMU. Like you said, they're 12-1 in the Sun Belt, 8-0 in the conference. Their points allowed are 454 points scored. The points scored is 454, and the total points allowed are 192. Now, the audience needs to know that you have to take this with a grain of salt with the stats that we're giving you, because it's in the Sun Belt. So now you might get like, oh, well, they did this many yards, or oh, their defense did this.
Yeah.
We got to understand the levels. So we're like SEC, okay?
Yep.
Big Ten, ACC, MEAC, and then we go down to the Sun Belt. But as I digress, that's like 37.8 points that they're scoring a game, right? Which means their defense is only allowing around 16 points per game in the total offense's grand scheme of things. Now, if we go to their passing per game, we're at 211.7 yards per game. Now, we go on the ground, it was saying 239.8 yards.
Yeah, they're split up about even, 50-50 offense.
And then the first downs per game in the Sun Belt Conference, of course, is 22.8 first downs a game. So that means that's like 2-3 game type deal. My math is terrible, forgive me. Now the turnovers, which is very surprising.
This is what's going to hurt them, is the turnovers.
Is only 1.2. Well, I guess only is really bad.
I was about
right?
to say, if you're averaging 1.2 turnovers
That's not
a game,
good. Yeah, only is yeah.
I mean, this game's going to be very, very interesting. And, you know, Oregon's defense this year, they're only allowing 14 points a game. So,
And they've played big teams for sure.
yeah. Yep. So I probably won't turn this game on. I might watch the first quarter and then maybe put some basketball on to watch. But yeah, this game is not going to be good for JMU.
As we read these stats out, it's like the tone is just getting more and more depressing. It's like, well, But in the whole general aspect of things, you have to give a round of applause for JMU for making it.
Absolutely,
At the end of the
absolutely.
day, you
Congrats.
can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't knock them for it. But as we see here, the stats that are read, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yep.
And if you decide to bet on that game,
You're not going to win much.
not much.
I mean, it's really going to take you, what, $100 to probably win $5 or something like that?
Something
I mean,
like
it's
that.
it's just not even worth betting on.
But again, we will say for you bet scorers out there, because I am a betting man, so is my man Tyler. The point favorite is minus 21.5 for Oregon. So it's Monday, December 9th. The odds may change from here and there. You never know. But at the end of the day, that's what it is for now. And we're going to go ahead and get into this next segment right here of our third game on the list. And that third game, Tyler, talk to me. What is that?
Tulane versus Ole Miss. At Ole Miss, December 20th. I think it's no, they haven't released a time yet, have they? Yeah, so there's no timeout for it. This is going to be very interesting. Main reason, no Lane Kiffin.
And I feel like you pointed it out to me before the show. That's the only reason this spread is only at minus 16.5.
Yep. So we don't know who's going to be running the offense, what kind of plays they're going to be running. I'm assuming they're going to be keeping the same playbook and kind of going the same flow of things. But I know Lane Kiffin was an offensive genius. So, I mean, luckily they have Tulane to play, kind of figure things out before they go to the next round. But yeah, once again, I don't know why Tulane's in to this playoff game. This team, they've already played each other once this year. Ole Miss won 41-10 or 45-10. I'm sorry. And I'm assuming the score is probably going to be about the same when they play each other. I could be wrong. This could be a major upset. And if it is an upset, wow.
And again, a round of applause for the Green Waves for you making it. A round of applause for sure.
Yep.
I'm going to read you guys out some stats from the Green Wave. Hopefully it doesn't sound impressive as the JMU Dukes did. But obviously, like we said in the summary, no Lane Kiffin. It's going to be a big thing for Trinidad. Excited to see what happens with Trinidad after the season as well. Just to digress, do you think he's staying or do you think he's out of there?
I think it will determine on how they play in the playoffs. You know, if he can come in the playoffs and push them, because they have the team to take them to the final game. I think Ole Miss is very good. I mean, what are they averaging? Their offense is averaging 498 yards a game. I mean, that's very impressive. So if they can keep that same energy, that AD might give them a job.
So, with Tulane's overall record is 11-2 in the American Conference. Again, guys, we have to go remember, SEC, MEAC, Sunbelt.
The Americans above the Sunbelt.
But take it with a grain of salt with these stats that I'm about to read. They're 11-2. They won their American Conference Championship. They were 7-1 in conference play. The points scored in 2025, 344 total points throughout their 12 games.
Yeah,
Which
28
means
games, 28 points a game.
28.7 points a game. Now, on the defensive side of them, the points allowed are 273 total points, which breaks it down to around 22.8 points per game, which their defense is allowing them to score.
Yeah, they kept it close this year in them games.
Fair enough. Now, the total offense, like we said, is 416.3 yards a game. That's including the passing and the rushing over the air and on the feet. Their passing per game is not too bad. It's 248.4, which is pretty consistent as a quarterback. You'll take that. You feel what I'm saying? Their rushing is around 167.8, which is very, very good. But again, like we said, American Conference.
Right. A lot of that could be too. I haven't watched any other games, so I don't even know how to watch. I don't even know how to watch your games. But
just
a lot of that could just be quarterback rollouts. You know.
Fair enough.
So,
And we got to hear their plays per game. They run around 66 plays. If they run 30 plays, I'm not gonna say 30.
Yeah.
If they run like 45 plays, I'll be surprised. If they can get 45 plays off.
all I gotta say is I hope that punter is pretty healthy. I
Wow.
hope that leg is warmed up. He's gonna be out there a lot.
So if you are a betting man, you heard it here first. Take the Tulane Green Waves punter at whatever prop it is. 9.5 punts, 10.5 punts, whatever. We got some more stats here from the quarterback. The quarterback name is Jake Retzlaff.
Love it.
If I said it wrong, Mr. Retzlaff, I'm sorry. They have 2,717 passing yards. He has 14 touchdowns. And throughout all that is through 334 attempts, 209 completions with around a 62.6 completion rate, which is over 50%, way over 50%. A lot of quarterbacks will take that, but again, we have to stress the conference and the difficulty of opponents that they are playing. I am just reading the stats. Do not kill me. Now, we can go on to the defensive side of Tulane. They have, I want to say that's the linebacker, Jack Chichio, whatever. Yeah.
Definitely Hawaiian.
Oh my God. Shut up, Pomelo Pickles, man. Go get you one.
Best pickles I've ever had.
Put it on a cracker with some pimento cheese, and I want 14 right now on a platter. You threw me off with that one.
No, I'm sorry, man. But here's a stat line for the Tulane Green Waves. Going back to it, 12 best teams in the country. Tulane's offense is nationally ranked 39th, and their defense is nationally ranked 31st. So, again, different caliber of football that's going to be played. I don't see why they're in the. And I'm not. I sound like a hater. I'm really not. I'm just disappointed in the committee because they're putting these softball teams in there for the playoffs, and we're trying to sit back, crack a couple beers, eat some popcorn, and watch some good ball. And I'm just probably not going to watch this game either, other than the first half.
Fair enough. And then who says the committee needs? Maybe the committee needs some pickles, or maybe the committee needs some beers, or maybe the committee needs to hang out. Get some zins going or something. Because every picture I see of the committee, they look so serious. And they're all in their suits and their legs are crossed and in nice warm rooms. Maybe they need to feel the cold.
Yeah.
They need to go to the game. Right. I don't know. Maybe
they're on the hot seat this year.
So why don't you give these people some stats about Ole Miss so we can store it up?
What a team they've had this year.
Right.
So total yards on offense is almost 6,000. It's 5,977 yards. I mean, that's pretty good. But like I said earlier, their offense is averaging 498 yards a game. The rushing, they have rushed the ball 2,262 yards this year. I mean, pretty even balance, a little bit more on the passing side, but still, I mean, that's
a hard thing to do in the SEC.
That running back, if he's got over 1,000, man, kudos to him, because that's hard to do in the SEC. I know a lot of them probably against Carolina, but we won't go that far.
And kudos to the offensive line. Offensive line get their love out there.
Big boys right here. Big boys got to eat.
Big boys got to eat. That's crazy.
They're averaging almost 5 yards a play. You do the math, three plays, that's a first down. I mean, that's all you got to do.
And then now, this is in the SEC, just so we can backtrack. This is in the hardest conference.
Not the MEAC.
Not the A, whatever.
The big dog, the SEC.
So, to wrap up, I guess, bloodbath or less of a bloodbath?
I think it's going to be less of a bloodbath, truly because Lane Kiffin's not there. I think that this game's going to be a little closer than the JMU Oregon game, but it's kind of a no-brainer. Ole Miss should go handle business and get ready to play. I think they play Texas Tech after that. I think so.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Don't quote us.
Don't quote us.
Next episode you can.
We're just two country idiots. Talking sports.
That's all it is.
But fun fact, this is the 74th meeting that these two teams have played each other.
Really?
70.
Where's Tulane? Ohio, right?
No, it's in Louisiana.
Wow.
Ole Miss is definitely they are carrying the majority. They have won 46 and Tulane's won 28. Still cool they played each other that many times and Tulane's actually beat them that many times. Ole Miss has won the last 14 times they played. So I think
Ole Miss, where does that come from? Ole Miss.
Ole Mississippi. I don't know. What is an Ole Miss?
Really?
What's hotty toddy?
That's something you drink, right?
I have no idea.
What's their mascot?
I thought a hot tamale is something you. Their mascot? I don't know.
I don't know.
Chat, inform us because we have no clue.
Please let us know. Now, as we get into a more interesting game.
Oh, this is the one I'm real excited for.
More interesting game. Let the people know who's playing, Tyler.
Oh, this game I'm real excited for. Other than the Bama Oklahoma game, this is going to be Miami versus Texas A&M. I am super stoked for this game. They two powerhouse teams. You know, coming in, I think Carson Beck was one of the top quarterbacks for the Heisman. Now Texas A&M's quarterback is one of the top for the Heisman. So I think that this is going to be a very close game. I think Texas A&M is going to air it out, and I think that they're going to win the passing game. Could be wrong though. These are boys from Miami, down in South Florida. They're built different.
So let me ask you this. Now, you being a Carolina fan, you remember what Carolina went down there and almost beat them boys in Kyle Field, right? What were some of the things that you saw that, like, Marcel Reed really was, like, exposing himself as? Because I didn't watch the game. I know you was watching 24/7.
Yeah, that's just a very heartbreaking game.
Yeah.
To be 30-20 or 30-3 at halftime.
Cops getting shoved, all kind of
I mean,
things going on.
It's a heartbreak, but yeah, I think what hurt him in the first half were all the interceptions he threw and the fumbles that they had, and then well, I don't know what their coach told them at halftime, but I think he put his foot up their butt because they turned it up that second half and had an incredible second half. I think it was also the largest comeback ever in school history too,
Wow.
and of course it was against the mighty Gamecocks. Who else but us, right?
So at number 10, as we said again, we have the ACC University of Miami Hurricanes going against the number 7 Texas Aggies of Kyle Field. We remember when the Texas Aggies were number 1. And then they had lost that last game to
Either Georgia or Bama, one of them two teams.
They had lost I forgot who they lost to was the last game, but anyway, they lost the last game and went from number 1 to it was like number 5 or whatever it was, and the rankings happened again, and now they're at number 7. Regardless, both these teams play on December 20th at noon. Noon kickoff, you gotta love it.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's gonna be open for it. Drinking early, have a reason to. Texas A&M has been ranging kind of different from a 3.5-point favorite to a 5.5-point favorite, but it's kind of depending on like the weather situation. There's always different variables with the betting gaps. You can get it on FanDuel at 3.5. You can get it on Prize Picks at whatever and a half. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of just depending from a betting standpoint of myself personally. I would say forget the spread, and I'm going straight hammering money line on the Texas Aggies.
Absolutely. This game's in Texas A&M, so they got the home team advantage. These two teams, they've only played each other 5 times in their history. And guess who is winning that right now?
Aggies.
Nope.
Wow!
Miami has beaten Aggies 3 times out of 5. So the U, baby.
The U. Everybody remembers the U. You know, back
Yeah.
Michael Irvin. If you haven't watched the documentary The U, you should really watch it. It's very, very
Probably
good.
the best 30 for 30 they've ever made.
Unless you're living under a rock, then, you know, keep watching Dirt or Worms or whatever you like to watch. Break down some facts for me, Tyler, from Miami,
Yeah.
please.
So they're 10-2. I believe their last loss was against Pitt, wasn't it? At Pitt?
Wow.
I think so.
Sneaky team.
It was,
Very
yeah.
sneaky
Yeah.
team.
But, yeah, so their offense, they average 34 points a game. Their defense is only giving up 13.8 points a game. I think Miami has the capability to win. I think they have good players. They're boys from South Florida. They're just built different down there.
Very much so.
They got Carson Beck on their team. Not saying he's great, but he's better than Lenore Sanders.
Fair enough. I mean, coming from Georgia. So what are their offense looking like per game? What is their whole little sheboying.
Yeah,
Like,
so they pass the ball a little more than running, but their running yards are still good. They're averaging 150 yards a game rushing. The passing is about 270 a game. Could be wrong. I think it's a little more than that.
well,
Their turnovers a game is less than 1, which is pretty good.
ideal.
That's what you want. I think that's what hurt them against Pitt was turnovers. But we're talking about this game, not Pitt.
Fair enough.
Yeah, their first downs per game is 29 or 22.9. So, I think Miami is a good candidate for this. I think this is going to be one of the good games to watch. If you got nothing to do at 12 p.m. Saturday, December 20th, lock into this game because it'll be a good one.
So let's hear a final score prediction from the T himself.
Final score prediction. I think Texas A&M. I think it'll be 35-28.
Wow.
I think Texas A&M gets the job done.
Nitty gritty fight all the way, or does some teams start off hot, another team have to trail them? You think Texas A&M coming out the gate punching?
I think out the bat, the first scripted plays, I think Texas A&M goes down, scores pretty easy. Miami turns around and fires back. Then we have a couple 3-and-outs in between, and then I think that second half, the Texas A&M turns it up, and Miami starts turning it up in the fourth, but it's just too late.
Fair enough. So now, since you guys hit you guys with the Miami stats, I'm going to hit you with the Texas A&M stats. So again, if you don't know, and there's no problem if you don't, Texas A&M is in the SEC, the conference that we were talking about, the strongest conference in college football, which we call the baby NFL. Okay, so they're 11-1, like we said, the most recent loss they just had to the team that we can't remember for some reason, and they're 7-1 in the SEC. 7-1 in the SEC. They obviously didn't win the SEC championship because Georgia did against Alabama, and we are looking at their points per game, led by our early Heisman candidate again, Marcel Reed, and we've seen Marcel Reed play plenty of times. The vision is not all the way there for me personally. But I like the athleticism for him. But as we've seen in the NFL, athleticism only gets you so far. Because everybody's just as fast as you, and everybody's just as strong for you. But again, I digress. Back on here. He's putting up 36.3 points per game with that high-powered offense of his. Slightly higher than Miami's, but again, a better conference. We go down to points allowed per game on the defense. It's 21.9 points per game. That's against, the average against teams. And then the total offense per game are 454 yards, and that's through the air and on the ground, passing and rushing. And then if we go just their rushing, it's 192.7 yards, and with 38 carries a game, which even in mathematically in around 5 yards a carry, which is like you said, if I can get 5 yards a carry, that's a good day.
That's a great play.
That's a good day.
If you call up a run play and you get 5 yards, that's a great play.
Great play. Yeah. And then, like I said, as the stats say right here, and just from watching them, you're going to see they're going to try to pound. And they're going to see what Miami's made out of. Because Miami, they got the guys, they got the speed, but when it comes to defense, the endurance is a little bit lacking there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Miami's been in a lot of situations where it's nitty-gritty, tight, like we said against Notre Dame, the nitty-gritty, tight fourth quarter, where they've shown that they can withstand the rain, but I don't think they ever figure like a storm like Texas A&M coming through the gate.
Yeah.
If we go through the passing offense per game, we're going to go at Marcel Reed's around 261.8. I bet on Marcel Reed a lot personally throughout the season. I can't say that he hit a lot, because different stuff like that. But at the end of the day, 261.8 yards a game is a lot. No matter where you put it. Let's see, their rushing offense per game is 192 yards, around 38 carries. Like we said again, that's around 5 yards. And then we go down to their defense and switch it up. Their third down defense is among the best in the nation. Opponents convert only 22% of their third downs against them, which is 22% of 100%. It's pretty lockdown defense, if you had to ask me.
That's right.
And then another fact that we got here, one of the strongest things, and we talked about this earlier, was Texas A&M offensive line.
Dude, one of the best.
And that's where it starts at.
That's right.
Big boys on the line,
Big boys on the line, they got to eat.
They gotta eat. They're top 30 in FBS when it comes to passing, everything, passing, rushing, scoring, time of possession, and it just shows again and again. You don't get 11-1 in the SEC without having an elite something. And then for this case, it might be the elite offensive line. Now the question is, can an elite offensive line face the task week again? So if you're going against Georgia, then boom, next week you turn around and go against Ohio State, or wherever the cause may be. How long the offensive line can stay together? How long the endurance is going to
be?
They're playing top round picks.
Everybody you're right. Everybody they're going against is either a first round or second round draft pick. I mean, that's just how they are in the SEC.
And what did Will Campbell said? If you get if a man gets sack a game against you for 8 games, he's going number 1 NFL in the draft. Yeah. And if you allow a sack a game for 8 games, you're working at Amazon. Plain and simple. So again, that's when we go back to the Texas A&M. So if we can wrap it all up against the Texas A&M with against the Hurricanes, what are some strong things that you could tell me about the Hurricanes and Texas A&M game that you're looking forward to, T-Dog?
I think Miami offense needs to be ready because Texas A&M, their defense is built different. I mean, they on third downs, they have just standouts on their team. I mean, most teams they play, they hit that third down, they're ready to fight. I mean, it's balls to the wall, game over. They also have a very strong offense. I mean, I think it's going to be a good game towards the end, but I truly think Texas A&M is just going to do what they do and move on. And I don't know why Texas A&M is, I think they should be ranked a little bit higher, but I think it's going to be a great game, dude.
Well, you heard it here first. We're going to be excited. A&T will be watching head first every game that's going to be on this weekend coming up. We're very excited. We're also going to be talking about NFL coming up here soon. And we're just going to keep doing what we do.
That's right. Talk sports.
Talk sports. That's drink it in. Take Zins. Eat queso.